Hello and welcome everyone to the first episode of Bithacks. My name is Dave Briggs and our mission is to try and make crypto simple. Today this episode will be relating around 3 exchanges that you can use in Australia to buy crypto. The exchanges are Coinspot, Independent Reserve and Coinbase, and I'll be reviewing these 3 exchanges to give you a better idea of how you can buy your first crypto or just move to a different exchange if you're not happy with the fees you're currently paying. So let's jump into the first exchange we'll be covering, which is Coinspot. Coinspot are a great Australian exchange. As it says in the title, buy and sell more cryptocurrencies than any other exchange in Australia, and this is true. They offer 131 cryptocurrencies or tokens to purchase, and I'll take you straight into the buy page, what it looks like once you get verified. Here are all the tokens that you can buy. So coins you may have heard of: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple. Sort of these are in the top of the market cap for all coins, but they have an extensive list, as you can see here. Now, if I was to come up here and I was a first time buyer and I was just to click this buy BTC, you get to a page that looks like this. Now, basically, they're just giving you a price and you're paying a 1% fee on that. So if I was to type in, I want to make a $100 purchase, they will give you the price for that. You click buy, and that's what it looks like. Your fee is there, 1%. That's your order, and that's how much Bitcoin you'd be receiving today. They also offer a more exchange type page, a more true exchange where you're trading with other people that are wanting to buy and sell Bitcoin. That's called their market page, and that actually looks like this. So you can see very similar to the other page, but when I click on view market, which is this page here, it looks slightly different. You have order book with buyers and sellers. They're giving you the prices that people would like to buy at and the prices that people would like to sell at. This won't be an instant transaction. So if you click, I would like to buy 1 Bitcoin at 13,500, which is the first seller's price, you could put that order in, but you're not going to receive a whole Bitcoin. Nobody on this side wants to sell one at that exact price. So you might, to get your whole first Bitcoin, you might have to go up to something like, it's pretty thin order book. You may have to go up significantly, $13,800 or something like that. But you click buy here, it would show you the fees. It would also show you how much you're purchasing. The fees on this side are very cheap, 0.1% or a tenth of 1%. And that would show you also the price per Bitcoin that you've put in and the total price of your order, excluding the fee. So this is a pretty good function. I think Coinspot are the best place to buy and sell cryptocurrency, particularly if you're doing it on this market page on this side. So the next exchange will be Independent Reserve, another Australian exchange with a fairly good list of coins. They offer 13 tokens available for trading. These guys are a little bit more like what I was explaining before with Coinbase, where they're more of a truer exchange. They don't really have that instant buy function where you can just see a price and buy it right then and there. But if you're familiar with trading at all, or you've traded a little bit of cryptocurrency before, you'll be super familiar with order books and how this page works. So if you logged in, your trading page would look something like this. This is Bitcoin to AUD. And so I just wanted to make a trade right now. I want to buy a tenth of a Bitcoin. My fees are down here, so it's 0.5%. So obviously that is a bit more than the Coinspot on-market fees. But you may or may not get more liquidity here. It's arguable to say who has more liquidity on any given day. But the fees are higher here. So that is one thing to note. It's a little bit higher than the Coinspot market page. You can buy at market. That's just taking the price and saying you want a tenth of a Bitcoin, and it'll go through all the sellers and get to your tenth of a Bitcoin. Or you can buy a limit, similar to Coinspot. So you say tenth of a Bitcoin, and I only want to buy when the price is $10,000. And once the price hits $10,000, you'll receive that tenth of a Bitcoin if you're previewing your buy order. Similarly, on the sell side, they work the same. Sell at market will just take the first buyer's price here, and sell at limit. You'll be selecting a sell price that is a lot higher than the market. You might say, I only want to sell a tenth of a Bitcoin when the price gets to $18,000. And then that would preview your sell order in there. So that's how that works. Lastly, I just want to go over a few things with Independent Reserve in relation to fees, because they are a little bit higher than a lot of other exchanges for depositing money, which I think is something we should talk about. So if you deposit by bank transfer over $100, it's free, and under $100, it's 99 cents. But not a lot of people use electronic transfer because it's not instant, and I like my transfers to be instant. They're saying 2 business days here. So if you use Pay ID or OSCO, it is a $2.50 processing fee for every deposit under $1,000. So if you're only depositing something like $100 on your first order, this is 2.5%. So that kind of eats into how much Bitcoin or cryptocurrency you can buy. Similarly, if you're using a poly deposit, which are instant transfers processed through the post office, but it's all done online, these deposits incur a fee of $3.30. Now, that's quite a lot, particularly if you're doing a low deposit amount, sort of $100 or $200, that can, on a $100 transaction, that's 3.3%. So already you're losing, nearly 3.5% just here, and then 0.5% in the trading fees as well. It's sort of getting up to around 4% on smaller transactions. With larger transactions, if you're depositing up to $1,000, this sort of is negligible. But on the smaller side, it really does eat into your profit margin. So the last exchange we'll be looking today is Coinbase. Now, Coinbase are actually a US-based exchange. At one point, they were the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world with about 14 million customers. They're still really large today, but a lot of traders and people that have some experience skip over them, mainly because they have high fees. So they are a great exchange if you're just starting out, but if you're more experienced, you can probably skip straight over them, and I'll show you why. So if you're in Australia, you're going to pay 4% on all transactions. So regardless of whether you're trading $100,000 worth of volume or $100 worth of volume, it's 4%. Now that's quite a lot when we compare it to Coinspot and also Independent Reserve, which are down under 1% on transactions. Also, Coinbase has a pretty limited selection. So if we go over here, there are just 14 assets on Coinbase. And if we compare that to the first exchange I showed you, Coinspot, they have up to 131 cryptocurrencies that are available to buy at 1%. So if you're paying 4% and getting more of a limited selection, I'd say you can probably just skip straight over them. The reasons you would use them is if you're a first-time user, they make things extremely easy. You get onboarded really fast. This verification is something I haven't talked about with the other 2 exchanges, but everyone does this. They'll need you to upload some ID, and that's just to prove who you are and to make sure there's no theft or fraud going on, so you're not trying to use Bitcoin or cryptocurrency for money laundering or something like that. So you will have to do that with each exchange, and the reason some people tend to pay the higher fee is Coinbase do this verification process very, very quickly. But like I said, you pay a lot more for it. So is it worth it? I don't think it is. I think just wait for a couple of days with the other exchanges and you will be verified fine. The other reason people would use Coinbase is they offer an app. So if you want to trade on your phone, maybe you're very busy or you're not at home a lot in front of a computer, you can trade on their app. I tend to think of this as a bit of a non-event. If we looked at the Coinspot market page or the Independent Reserve market page, I showed you guys how to place a limit buy order. You can place your order and just walk away from the computer and wait for the market to hit your price. So I sort of see this as people that are buying in the moment. They see a price they like, they go to their phone and they buy it right then and there. And for that privilege, you are going to pay 4%. It is a very, very easy user interface. So if you've never bought any cryptocurrency before, these guys could be for you. But if you have some experience, I would say go with the other two cheaper options, either Independent Reserve or Coinspot. So a quick recap on the exchanges we looked at: Coinspot, Independent Reserve, and Coinbase. I rank Coinspot my #1 exchange. It's usually where I go to trade. They have the biggest selection, 131 coins trading at a 1% fee. The 1/10%, they offer 11 coins. It's a pretty easy user interface, particularly if you're using the instant buy function on the 131 coins, and it's fast to get money in and out. My second choice would be Independent Reserve. They have a 0.5% fee on 13 coins. The user interface is really good, particularly if you're experienced. It's fast to get money in or out, and but it does have some fees to get your money in, as we discussed. The last thing I'd like to say about Independent Reserve is that if you are buying a lot of Bitcoin or a lot of Ethereum or any of those other assets that we discussed earlier, you may get slightly better liquidity with them, in my experience. So if you're buying tens of thousands of dollars worth of cryptocurrency, I would bump them up to my first choice. However, if you're buying smaller volumes, $100 to $500 range, I would stick with Coinspot. Lastly, I rank Coinbase the third choice. It's fine if you've never traded any cryptocurrency before, but obviously, as you can see, comparing them all on the page here, it's really just the most expensive of the three, and I think you're paying a lot more money for really not a great service. If you've never traded any cryptocurrency before and never traded any shares or been on an exchange page ever before, they are where I would go, pay the fee, and just get an introduction to markets and having a look at essentially a cryptocurrency exchange before you get into sort of slightly more complicated exchanges over here. The last thing I'll say is I have referral codes for Coinspot and Coinbase, where if you buy more than $100 worth of cryptocurrency on either Coinbase or Coinspot, you will receive $10 of free Bitcoin. And on Independent Reserve, I have a referral code, which I'll link below if you're going to use them. It isn't a buy X, you get X, but it does help me put out these videos for free. So if you are going to sign up to them, I'd appreciate you using my referrals. It allows me to make the videos for free. I'll see you guys on the next video when I talk about security and how to secure your cryptocurrency, and I look forward to seeing you all there.